Welcome to Three Guys, Three Dialysis Machines.
Each week, three guys test the limits of obesity.
Welcome to Three Guys, Three Questions, where three friends test the limits of propriety through the questions we ask. Today is the first day of the rest of your life, and this week, we're sponsored by Adorable Baby Goat Gifts. I'm Aaron L.M. Goodwin, and I'm joined, as always, by Andrew Savage. Say hello, Andrew.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
You know, I could hear them. I heard them. There's a voice that rang out across the world that said they were doing great.
They're going to tweet their responses back to me later.
Maybe write them, maybe send them in a carrier pigeon, mayhaps. I'm also joined by Adam, the Kid Anderson.
Get it? Because baby goats are called kids.
Moving on.
I amuse myself.
If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question, then each host gives their answer. Hilarity hopefully ensues, and we move to the next question. Andrew has today's first question, so take it away, Andrew.
I will take it. I'll take it all of the way.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Do I need to turn the lights on in this room with you and the question? I don't feel comfortable leaving you alone with this question.
Well, this question's going to get a question.
I think you need to remember that no means no, Andrew.
Okay. Despite all that awkwardness, I'm just going to read what I wrote earlier. So, guys, I want to ask you a question. What is the story of a time that you were punched in the face or equally terrible thing?
I'm glad you asked, Andrew.
Thank you.
Because I love talking about this kind of a thing. So, the first thing you need to know is that I have really bad eyesight. Like, I'm certain that in, like, at least by my 50s, I'm going to be legally blind. Every year I go in to get my prescription adjusted, and they basically, like, double the strength of my prescription. And I look at my optometrist, I'm like, is that normal? Oh, yeah. I don't feel like that's not normal.
He just he likes a yearly business is pretty much what he's saying.
I don't give him business. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. So I can't see, like, without my glasses on, I can't see anything. Like, I can't read text. Like everyone's just like a beigey blur
with points.
Yeah, brown blur with points. Yeah, it's hard for me to see, and so that's the first thing to know. The second thing to know is that me and a couple of friends were like riding some sort of testosterone high after watching a boxing match.
I like where this is going. I think this story's going to end in a good place for me.
I've heard this story before. It's awesome.
And we thought, hey, we should box each other. And we all looked and we just like all agreed that this was a good thing to do. And we're like, but we're not going to be stupid about it. Let's go buy some boxing gloves and mouth guards.
Of course.
Yeah. So as you do,
responsible.
As you do, you go down to Valley Sporting Goods and you get some boxing gloves and mouth guards and you know, I remembered from karate that it was important to get the mouth guard molded to your mouth, and I showed people how to do that with, like, you put it in hot water and get it soft. And so, I mean, and by the time we were ready to box, it was nighttime. So I moved my car out of the driveway. We turned the light on in the driveway and just had like a little boxing ring in my driveway. And
completely legitimate looking.
Yeah, no, completely normal.
It's not sketch at all.
You can actually ask Zach about this because he was one of the main instigators.
That sounds like Zach.
So one of our other friends was Chris, and I decided, and Chris was like, "You got to box me." I was like, "Okay." And I, like, this whole time I knew this was a bad idea because I was in karate growing up. I have a black belt. You wouldn't know it to look at me, like, because I got it when I was like 12. It was a long time ago in my past. So, like, I know how fighting works, but I can't see. And I know that is an integral part to fighting.
To most things, really.
Yeah, but I'm also in this situation where I feel like if I turned it down, I'd be emasculated. Like I felt like if I said no to fighting this person who's much smaller than me, that it's like I'm a chump. But so I couldn't turn him down. I was like, all right, I don't want to be a chicken. So we fought, and it was really hard because I'm fat and slow. So I was relying on when he gets within arm reach, I'm going to hit him really hard. That's hard to do when you don't get to see them before they're already hitting you in the face. And so we're just going around in circles, and he's hitting me. He's getting some shots in, but I'm taking it pretty good, like, because I can take a punch. And he's hitting me, a lot of them he's hitting me like in my chest and my abdomen and stuff, like, I'm absorbing all of that. I'm essentially the blob.
I got this.
Like,
Did you ever play the game Super Punch Out for the Super Nintendo?
Yeah.
You remember the big guy and you hit him in the stomach and he sticks his tongue at you and laughs? You're like, oh, this is not going to work.
That's pretty much me there. But then I decided, all right, this is stupid. This isn't going anywhere. Let's get this going. And I start going at it more. And I know I'm going to have to do this quick because I'm going to get exhausted. and that didn't last long. And he hit me with a hook. I think he's got like a good right hook right in my nose.
Oh.
And it hit me. And I did like a thing in the movies where like it hits you so hard you swivel around 180 degrees. And then I just started to fall because I went unconscious. And it was interesting because I remember when he hit me, it was like, that hurts. And then a bright flash of like bright green light and then blackness. But then really quick, I came back before I fell down. So I didn't fall all the way down. I started falling and I woke up and I, braced myself against the car. But he'd hit me really hard in the nose and I started bleeding. So we're like, okay, I think you win. So that was the last time I got punched in the face. So that's all the story is. But this is what happens when you have too much testosterone concentrated in one small area.
Yeah, no, I think there's a discussion we could have about toxic masculinity, but I'm going to avoid because I don't want to share my feelings.
Are you for it?
No.
You don't want to share your feelings because you're afraid we'll tell you you're a sissy?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really proud of that joke. I shouldn't be, but I am.
I'm glad somebody is.
1/3 of the people in this room like it. Yeah, so I don't have a cool story about being punched in the face, and I'm kind of ashamed, but I'm also not. I'm a little bit proud because I've lived most of my life by the guiding principle of don't do things that will get me punched in the face, and so far I've succeeded. So I'm gonna chalk that up to like, yeah, good job, Adam. But something equally terrible that happened to me, I fell off a bridge once, and that wasn't fun.
It's almost worse because like it's not like the bridge did it to you.
Yeah, it's like I would say I have no one else to blame, but actually I have several people I can blame, and that will hopefully come to light in the story.
Do tell.
So I was an older Boy Scout. I don't think I had my eagle yet, but I was like probably 15, I guess.
You're like a young man scout.
Yeah. And I was a teen scout. Teen Scout sounds like a TV show.
Teen Scout sounds like a community online.
He's scouting.
Let me just log into Teen Scout and talk to my friends.
Okay, that got weirder than I thought it did.
That got weirder than you thought it was going to get?
This is a weird
It got
episode,
weirder than
guys.
I thought it could.
No, I can make it weird, bro.
Yeah, I've
Don't question the limit
Maybe
of how
we
weird
should
the
just
thing
buy
I've learned over 6 seasons is that I should stop having low expectations for how weird you can make things.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, go back
Now
to your
that I've
bridge
learned
story.
my lesson, are you going to stop or no?
Go back to your bridge story. That's what I keep asking.
So, so I was like a teenage Boy Scout, and we went on a camp out, and the purpose of this camp out was so that the next morning we could climb and rappel off of these old railroad bridges, which were described to me as no longer in use. So we go out and we find one, and we're walking along the top of it because we're just going to rappel down. That was like the point of it, was to rappel down like off of this bridge.
Mhm.
And it was pretty high. It was probably 50 feet or so, 50, 75. And this guy he's a former Marine, and he's way more gung-ho about everything that he does in his whole life than I have ever been about anything. And so he's like, oh, this is going to be awesome. This is going to be great. And so it's like, okay, sure, I guess you know what you're doing.
Hoorah!
So he's starting
Hoorah,
to
hoorah, hoorah!
Yeah. So he's starting to attach these ropes to the bridge. And then, you know those trucks that just have those like train wheels attached to them?
Yeah.
One of those just comes along the track. And we're like, what are you doing here? He's like, no, what are you doing here? He's like, we're gonna rappel off this bridge. He's like, no, that's a bad idea. You should not do that because there's going to be a train. So he's like, and then the guy starts arguing with him. He's like, no, this is a shut down line. He's like, no, I work here. It's not.
It's not a shut down line. I am on it in front of a train.
It's like, no. Right?
If you argue with the guy who's on a car that could only specifically be there because he knows that it's on. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
nobody accidentally gets train wheels on their truck and then drives on train tracks just to go screw with people.
Like he didn't wake up that morning like, I would put train wheels on and go mess with people.
Yeah. Because I know there's going to be some teen scouts out there trying to rappel down this bridge.
Right. So eventually, this train guy convinces our scout leader that this is not a good thing to do. And so instead of rappelling off the top of the bridge, we decide that we're going to go below the bridge and just climb up it and then rappel down and just like not get on top of it, like where the train tracks are.
That sounds like a good
Which
idea.
is safer, of course. Of course that's safe.
Man, I have a lot of gripes with scouts, but keep going.
So we go down to the bottom of the bridge, and this former Marine guy, he just climbs up it. He's like, we need a rope up there, so I'm just gonna go put it up there.
There's always one guy. Like
Yeah,
that.
he was that guy. So he just climbs up this thing. He's like, hey, this seems unsafe. He's like, don't worry about it. I want to die anyway. And so he attaches this rope to the thing, and then he lets it down. He's like, okay, we're going to climb up this bridge. And I was like, these are not rocks. Like, this is not rock climbing. I don't think I can get my merit badge for that. And so we start setting the rope down for people to climb up or whatever. And some of the smaller guys go up and they're fine. But I'm like, by this point I was kind of a larger person. I wasn't very fit or anything, but I start climbing up and I probably get about halfway up. But where he attached the rope was like 45 degrees up and to my right. And so I was climbing up and like, you can picture this. I was at like the top of a pendulum, right?
Yeah, you're the pendulum.
I am the pendulum. And eventually it gets to this point where it's like, wow, it's really hard to hold on to these rusty girders with my bare hands because nobody brought gloves, because of course nobody did.
You guys, I just want to say that you guys just sound really, really prepared. Which
There's
is
a lot
which
of
is,
planning that
which
went
is
into
good
this.
because that's the scout motto. You guys are totally following that.
You know
by
what?
Being prepared.
The unspoken scout motto is peer pressure. You should do it. You're a sissy.
Yeah, just do it. Yeah, just man up. So I slip off, and since I am like this pendulum thing, like this, 180-pound pendulum at the end of this like 40-foot long rope, I just swing, and I just hit like this other pillar full of girders or whatever.
Oh my god!
And I hit I catch myself with my shin, which it's not like a good place to catch yourself.
It's better than other places.
So to this day, I have like a divot in my shin because it went down to like the bone.
Wait, have we talked about my shin divot?
That's how you
weird.
should start every conversation on Tinder. Hey, have we talked about my shin divot?
Do you have a shin divot? We might be soulmates.
Talk to me about shin divots, baby.
No, that's if you have the divot on your foot. Then
No,
you're
I was
soulmates.
literally asking Adam. We might be soulmates because
I don't
have
remember
a shin
talking
divot
about your
too.
shin divot.
And it was because I kicked a rail when I was walking. I think I told this story. I was walking my dog and it got spooked and it ran away and it jumped over rails and I was like, yeah, I can make this. And as I was jumping, I was like, one leg can make it, but not the other. And I kicked the metal rail, and now I have a divot in my shin. That's funny.
Yeah, no, it scraped it off like all the way to the bone, and I was bleeding everywhere. And I think I went into shock, but nobody cared. And they were like, "Oh yeah, you're not having a good time. Here, drink this warm orange juice." And for some reason, while I was trying to swallow it, it felt like I was trying to swallow little rocks, which was weird. So now I don't like orange juice anymore.
It's probably the shock.
Yeah, it's probably that. So I think the activity ended after that.
Man, I'm not a fan of Scouts, but that's just my personal opinion. That's also a right opinion.
I have to say, like, my opinion doesn't matter because I'm definitely a fan of Scouts now because there's so many stories that are going to happen on this podcast because we were in Scouts. So
Yeah.
grateful for it. Lots of material.
Good times.
Lots of material. Chin divot formation. It's good. Shin divot formation. It's all good. So yeah. So I think that's as bad as being punched in the face. I don't know.
I feel like an entire group of people punched you in the face slowly.
They all conspired to punch you in the face.
Yeah. Anyway, so my story. This is when I was living in West Virginia, and I was having
Hey, did you hear that the toothbrush was invented in West Virginia?
You should tell the people in West Virginia that.
You don't want to know why?
Why is that?
Because if it was invented anywhere else, it would be the teeth brush.
Oh,
snap!
That's a good joke. That's irate.
That's the only joke I've ever heard about West Virginia. That's why I had to share
it. Anyway, so I was having a heated discussion with my roommate at the time, and he decided that the discussion had no longer progressed in a way that would further any intellectual thought, and he popped me right in the cheek. And it wasn't like a super.
Describe to me the situation, because were you guys like sitting across from each other? Were you sitting on the same couch? Were you standing across?
No. So we started sitting, but then we decided that standing up would further prove our points.
Okay.
And then he decided just to pop me right like he didn't give me the nose, it's just in the side of the face.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bruised, but as soon as he did it, he realized like, oh shoot, I did that. And so it stopped right there, like, because I wasn't planning to hit him back, because that would then he would have lost the argument at that point, because right now he'd realized that he had already lost.
Yeah.
But the problem is that we work together like a lot. And so like we'd have to go places with each other, and I'd have this bruise on the side of my face,
and people would be like, what happened here?
It was a domestic.
It was a domestic disturbance.
No, I remember telling someone like, hey, what happened? I'm like, oh, I fell on a doorknob. Like, what?
I remember that episode of Full House.
Exactly. Everyone does. But I thought it was hilarious to make a big deal about it, but not a big deal about it, but to pretend.
Like not let him forget.
Yes. We'd be like, it was like we were deciding where to eat. I'm like, oh, you know what? I think the person that should decide to eat was the person who didn't punch someone in the face today. Or for the next week. So it was good times. Oh, good times.
And that time it was worth it.
Man, I would pay for my food, but my face just hurts so much.
Yeah.
This sounds like season 3 of Fargo.
Yeah. It was good times.
Good old West Virginia. Oh man, I hope we don't have any listeners in West Virginia.
I hope we do. I really want to hear them angry at us.
I know we have listeners in Virginia.
The real Virginia?
Actually, like, honestly, West Virginia is pretty beautiful. It's a really nice place.
No, yeah, I've seen some pictures.
Some people call it the best Virginia.
That's one of those things that says on the sign as you're entering it, right? Welcome to West Virginia, the best Virginia.
Well, when I say people, I meant like shirts at gas stations.
My question is, you have to create a superhero, okay? You have to create a superhero.
I'm so excited for this.
You have to do it. What will be their name and their power, Adam?
All right. His name is Iron Man.
Let me stop you right there. Pretty sure that already exists.
I'm going to stop you there again, because if there's have to do with anything about straightening laundry,
Seriously?
I will leave. What was that?
What kind of a laugh is that?
Aaron,
What just happened?
Aaron,
I mean, as someone who has really weird laughs, man, that was special.
Aaron, can you take that?
No.
Can you take that recording, and I want to make that my ringtone, because that's what it sounds like, a phone, like a human person phone.
Oh. That's your ringtone anytime someone sends you a text message. Oh man. Okay. So
instead of 2 words, it's a hyphen.
mm-hmm.
And instead of wearing a powered armored suit, he just comes to my house and straightens my clothes. He doesn't need an iron. He can just do it. You can just use his ironing vision, and then I don't have to do it.
Here's a better Iron Man, Iron Deficient Man, where he bruises really easily.
So the problem I'm having here is I want to make fun of you.
When has that ever stopped you before?
I want to take you a picture, send you a picture of a costume that I wore one time. A friend had a birthday party, and she said it was everyone had to dress as a superhero, and I didn't have a lot of money at the time. You can tell
all of your best stories start with "I didn't have a lot of money at the time."
You can tell by my hair because I didn't get a haircut.
He didn't have money to buy a razor.
It looks like a wig. It looks like a wig.
That was my actual hair, and I wasn't shaven. If you get closer, you could see that my glasses are cracked down the middle because I couldn't afford to get new glasses. That shirt I borrowed from somewhere or something. It wasn't even my shirt. And that cape I'm wearing is actually a tablecloth from my house. Yeah.
Is that your iron though?
That's my iron.
Dude, did the guy with you just like Sharpie a mask on his face?
No, I think it was like eyeliner or something. But yeah, so I dressed as, to the listener, I dressed as Iron Man. And I'm really ashamed of it. But there you have it. So Iron Man exists.
You had that so readily available.
Yet another thing that me and Adam have in common. We got shin divots and stupid, corny superheroes.
Stupid Iron Man. It would really make me happy though if somebody like that existed who would just come to my house and fold and straighten my laundry and make sure.
Let's be honest, I'm not gonna iron.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Forget about it. I haven't ironed anything in so long.
I haven't either. The extent of my ironing that I've done was when I was at home, and so laundry was free. Like, oh, this shirt's wrinkled, throw it in the dryer.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. But here I can't even do that because it's like I don't want to pay $1 because I have a wrinkly shirt.
Yeah, Iron Man. Yep, I don't really have much to say about that.
I had prepared like this whole thing about how like he has ironing vision and stuff, but I've forgotten most of it.
Because you saw the picture of me.
The picture and the fact that Andrew called me out on it.
Oh, I knew immediately when I saw what was going on.
Oh dear. All right, well, let's move on to Andrew's answer.
So it's tough because like I like superheroes. I've read a lot of comic books, and so I always try to think of a superpower that is not helpful. It's like almost like a disability.
Oh, right.
So this person is Liar Man. But he doesn't lie, but for whatever reason, like he has sends out brainwaves and people always lie to him all the time.
They never tell him the truth.
They never tell him the truth.
Oh.
And it's just it's just be a comic book about him having to deal with the fact that no one tells him what time the movie starts and he always misses it. Or if he really looks good in these pairs of pants. He never knows.
That's just my anxieties made manifest.
Yeah, and that's pretty much where it came from.
I tend to think I'm living the life of Liar Man. but it may just be that I'm actually living The Life of Paranoid Man.
That's his friend.
That's his friend, Paranoid Man.
Yeah. They have an apartment together, but they can't.
That would be the best comic book. It's all like dysfunctional superheroes who their mutant superpower is actually like a huge disability, and they're dealing with it.
Yeah.
You should get someone to do that.
I think
or you do that or something. You can make money on that.
I will. And I feel like every other superhero is having problems, thinks that everyone else's power is better than theirs.
Right.
They're doing better. Like you saw Jessica Jones, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And what's his name? I can't think of his name. Yes, Kilgrave, but the actor who plays him.
David Tennant.
Is David Tennant. David Tennant can make anyone do anything he wants by saying it.
Mm.
But how terrible that is that you don't know if anyone really ever cared about you because you just told them whatever to do.
I'd get over it real quick.
Well, you could just tell them to tell the truth.
Duh! How you didn't think about that, Mr. Kilgrave?
I'm just saying, I think it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, no, I think you're onto something. I really do think you need to copyright this or something because someone's gonna steal it and make a lot of money. Doesn't it sound like a Matt Fraction comic?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Get him to do it.
I'll make some phone calls.
Yeah, call Matt Fraction. My superhero. Are you done, Andrew?
Oh, I'm done.
Okay. No, I like that idea. My superhero is well, his name is the Facts Fiddler.
Like somebody tries to send a fax, but he intercepts it and takes it and fiddles it to somebody.
No, he fact checks. So like his superpower is to check. He has a super violin fiddle that he plays. and so whenever someone, the thing is that like when someone says something specious, he like appears, poof, and he's there and he's like, "You better check your facts, fiddler," and he plays the fiddle and reveals the true facts of the situation. And I feel like he would be an awesome superhero because like his debut, people would learn about him because he just starts popping up on the news all the time.
He's just living at 24-hour news stations.
Right.
He just grinds Congress to a halt.
Yeah. So I don't know.
The president's making an announcement. You better check your facts.
And then he plays the violin. And then the person's like, actually, that was incorrect. And they say the answer because his violin makes them.
It would only really be really annoying for a month, and everyone would be like, "Oh shoot, I gotta tell the truth all the time."
I feel like him and Liar Man would be adversaries.
Or like the best team ever. Like Liar Man would be like, "Oh, what if Facts Fiddler was like this big time hero, and Liar Man was like nobody knew who he was." And he was just like sitting there hoping someday he could befriend the Facts Fiddler and that they could start a superhero duo because then he could always get the Facts Fiddler to to correct the situation.
Exactly.
But like whose power would be like have more power?
I mean, I don't know.
Right? Because if the Liar Man's there, then they're compelled to lie. But if Facts Fiddler's there, they're compelled to tell the truth.
Yeah, maybe people just explode. They can't both be in the same room at the same time.
This is why I think they would be adversaries, right? Because the Liar Man would just be walking around and people would be lying to him, and Facts Fiddler would have to show up over and over again and be like, "Stop it, Liar Man! I love you."
That'd be a good story because they'd have to like, they wouldn't want to be fighting, but they had to of a necessity.
Exactly.
Yes.
Somebody seriously, you call Matt Fraction right now.
Copyright. That's how you copyright things.
That's how it works.
Right. I declare this copyrighted.
Yeah.
Well, that's the end of that round. That went weird.
I do like this comic book that we're starting to write, though. I'm excited.
Iron Man can be like, he can appear like once and then no more.
He's murdered on the first page.
He's the first person to explode.
Right. Like, and he only has one line in the whole book. He's like, "I am Iron Man." And then dies.
No, you're not.
He's killed. Facts Fiddler's like, "No!"
You better check your facts, fella. My question is, what would be the best thing to find in a pinata?
Ooh, Pinatas are great.
I love them.
I love pinatas. I love the idea of violence reaping an immediate reward.
You're an American, so that makes sense.
So my roommate actually, he just got back. We just got back from break for Christmas break, and he was telling me that his family just started a tradition where they have a Christmas pinata. And I was like, yes,
that's good.
Yes. I'm like, I approve of that tradition.
I want to start that one too.
Christmas pinata.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I was like, oh, well, I'm stealing that idea. I hope you know that, all right? Anyway.
Yeah, he didn't yell copyrighted, so we can take it.
So I've never been to like, growing up, the pinata was always just like tied to the top of like the edge of a porch or something like that. And then you blindfold the kid and spin them around and let them hit around with it.
Right.
But have you guys ever been to like a Mexican birthday party with like how they do the pinata?
I can't say I have.
It is different. So they will take it and they'll string up the pinata a lot of times, and they'll get between like two houses.
Uh-huh.
So there's like a person holding one end of the rope on one house and the person holding the other end of the rope on the other house. And the two people hold the pinata and swing it around like crazy. So 9 times out of 10, the pinata is hitting you, and then you turn around to hit it and you can't hit it. So they're like actually trying really hard to keep the pinata from getting hit. And so
that's awesome.
It's like a huge challenge, and it's even like 400 times more rewarding when you finally someone hits the pinata. You're like, yeah!
There's a bunch of marzipan comes out.
That was like pinata life hacks. I can never go back to just a stationary pinata. It's a joke.
Oh, that's so great.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted Andrew. What's your answer?
Yeah, so my answer, the best thing would be cherry pie filling.
Just like right on the ground.
Just add to the violence of the whole situation. Is to make it look like you've just murdered the paper mache pony or whatever it is.
All these kids are expecting candy and
just pie filling everywhere.
Alive all along.
I know, because there's a moment when the cherry pie comes out that you like don't know if that was pie, if that's actual innards.
I thought you were just going to say cherry pie, and like, that'd be cool. I'd be down for that.
No, it's got to be the filling.
This is
man.
a little sadistic.
Just imagine, it'd be like a Tarantino film. There's blood splurt everywhere, but it's actually pie filling.
What if somebody... Would you be able to take a Tarantino movie and just edit pie filling where all the blood is?
I don't have...
How would you know the difference? You need like smell-o-vision to really get the most out of that. Oh, that would be delicious, but it would suck because like I think one of the best things about a pinata is like the stuff lands on the ground and everyone goes and gets it, but nobody wants the pie that's already land on the ground.
It'd be the most disappointing pinata.
But but that does make it a bigger reward for being the person who cracks it open.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you're going to be right under and you're going to get this shower of.
Well, when I say rewarding, it's not going to be for the children or people wanting the candy. It'll be me.
I don't know. I kind of would like it. It's just cherry pie filling falling all over me. I just open my mouth.
You just kneel down. You're like, I'm not ashamed, and you start scooping it off the ground.
So it's funny that you gave that answer, Andrew, because mine is kind of a similar situation. I thought it would be pretty dope if it was full of guacamole. and bonus, turns out the pinata is corn chips.
That would be pretty good.
Made out of corn chips. So you just take it and eat the guacamole.
That's good.
But yeah, it's a similar problem was once it hits the ground.
Maybe instead of like outside on the grass, you could lay down some plastic.
Ooh, and then
cover that in more corn chips.
When everyone's done and there's still some left, it turns into a guacamole slip and slide. That would be so much fun.
Oh, it's so gross.
We should do a guacamole slip and slide, guys.
Nah.
What's terrible is that I know that's what you're going to call the episode.
I always hate like these show titles. I want to do one that's not food based, but like the funniest things you say are the food based things for some reason.
That sounds right.
Guacamole slip and slide.
My answer is better than both of your answers.
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
You are always judging me, so I know. But I think it would be amazing if pizza rolls rained down.
Okay, yep, you win. Pizza rolls are like a food group in and of themselves.
So the fact
good.
that they don't resemble any other type of food.
They're so good.
Like I've never finished a plate of pizza rolls and thought, I don't want any more pizza rolls.
You always want more pizza rolls. It was like an infinite supply of desire when it comes to pizza rolls. I think it's because you can only microwave like 6 at a time. Like if you do more than 6 at a time, like they don't cook right.
You know how many you can bake in the oven?
Guys, I'll one up you. You fry them with coconut oil and it makes them crispy.
What?
You changed my life.
Oh, yeah.
That's like when I learned the hack to fry the microwave burritos.
Oh yeah.
In ghee.
Wait, what?
So ghee is butter fat. So it's like butter without the solids, like the solids are removed.
Oh.
And I had a whole bunch of ghee because some Indian lady gave me a bunch of ghee. And I had a bunch of frozen microwave bean and cheese burritos. And I was like,
there's only one option.
These are essentially like one step away from becoming a chimichanga. So I fried them in the ghee, and it was like the most decadent, delicious.
So I'm in Idaho right now, and I went to go buy some bean cheese burritos, the frozen ones. They do not sell them here.
Oh,
what?
That's stupid.
Like in the whole state? Are they outlawed for some reason?
The entire
you need to write your senator?
The 2 supermarkets I went to didn't have them.
Contact your congressman. Call the National Guard.
Yeah, so it was upsetting.
But you know what? They probably do have his pizza rolls, right?
Yes, they do.
You console yourself in that.
You know, this reminds me of another Boy Scout story. For some reason, we were on a camp out, and somebody...
Did someone bring pizza rolls?
No. Somebody brought a deep fryer.
What?
And so we had activities planned, but it just turned into what can't we deep fry?
How did they deep fry?
The answer is most things, but not gummy bears.
How do you? Did they have electricity? Did they plug it into the car?
No, it was like a gas powered.
Oh, one of those ones. Okay.
Yeah. It was a good.
We used to have. Back in the day, after church, we used to have just like a potluck every week at this guy's house. And everyone would bring stuff, and there was always tons of food. And then one day he brought out a deep fryer, and he was deep frying wings. And we got an idea, and we're like, how many people here own deep fryers? And we found out that like 6 of us own deep fryers. So we're like, next week is deep fry week. And we fried all the things. We're like, bring things you would think maybe they could be good deep fried. We'll provide the batter. And we just made like a ton of batter and deep fried all the things. And it was amazing. You know, it was really good.
Now I just want a pinata full of deep fried pizza rolls.
We deep fried those little Hershey's mini bars, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, you freeze them first and then you deep fry them, and they're amazing.
Do you use batter or you just put them right in there?
No, you batter them.
Okay.
So it like melts inside the batter.
So you guys aren't crazy. Like you have a little bit of
We did deep
science.
fried Oreos and Twinkies.
You know what I've never had, and I'm kind of convinced is somebody, like a lot of people playing an elaborate joke on me? Fried ice cream.
Oh, it's so
I've
good.
been told that it exists, but I don't.
Dude, stop what you're doing right now and go get yourself fried ice cream.
How did we start talking about this?
We talked about pizza rolls and
guacamole and cherry pie filling. You know what?
Pizza rolls.
Welcome to 3 Guys, 3 Obesity. Welcome to 3 Guys, 3 Dialysis Machines.
Each week, 3 guys test the limits of obesity.
It's like, no wonder I look the way I do. No wonder all of us, our default answers were junk foods.
It could have been gift cards inside of the pinata.
There could have been so many things.
There could have been USB drives.
Could have been dongs. The Vietnamese currency.
Yeah, I knew what you meant.
Sorry, I didn't want to lead people astray.
The
there.
new listeners might not have been.
They're like, huh?
Yeah, I was gonna say money, but I was like, no, that's not fun. You know what is fun? Pizza rolls.
What about, this is a callback.
You get a pizza roll, you get a party, no matter how many people are
This is a callback, but what about how it's just full of Faygo? That'd be pretty good.
The pinata has like clown makeup on.
Just a Juggalo Piñata, and you hit it and it just rains Faygo.
Oh man, now I want to make one and take it to the next gathering.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
You need to. I think you need to. Well, thanks for listening. Remember, your ratings fuel us, so please rate and share the show wherever you listen to it. You can subscribe to receive episodes the moment they're released by going to 3g3q.co/subscribe. We also appreciate our patrons. You can help support this show and receive exclusive stuff by subscribing at patreon.com/3g3q. And other than that, where can people get a hold of y'all?
I'm still on Twitter. Hit me up. I'm ace_sad.
Week after week, I can't believe it. You're still there.
I haven't changed my name or anything.
I'm also on Twitter at that Adam Kid. You can find me there. I'll probably be exploring this idea of pizza roll pinatas further.
I'm so hungry. I'm at Aaron LM Goodwin on Twitter. Other than that, I want you to remember that if someone tells you they fell on a doorknob, it's time to call CPS. I also want you to remember that you need to check your facts, fiddler. I was so stupid, but I'm keeping it. I also want you to remember that there's no such thing as a law of diminishing returns when it comes to pizza rolls.
An economics
pizza rolls
joke?
is always better pizza rolls.
Was that an economics joke?
For all our economics majors out there, you know who you are. Just
it's weird that our audience is smarter than us. You thought about that?
We can't tell them that.
This will never be in the show. Hey, also, I also want you to remember to question everything. Okay. That's what we're here for. I had a joke and I forgot and I feel bad. All right, let's just move on.
Is that the tagline of our podcast? I had a joke and I forgot it. Let's just move on.
That should be. Change it.
Just update the description on good stuff. Just change it.
Just change it to that. All right, well, let's start. If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Why do I always say works?
Here's how it works.
If you're new to the show, here's how it works. Each host asks a question. That's a new character.
Put that one in the bank.
File that one away for later.
His name is Frau Birchkin. All right, let's try this again. But seriously, isn't that weird?
It is really weird.
I'm like, all these people who are way smarter than me.
I'm gonna stop recording.
Listen to the show. Oh, I'm gonna stop too.
Oh, were we supposed to be recording?
Oh my god.
Hey-oh. Okay.